If you're a trading card game seller, you're likely using one of a couple platforms. That could be TCG Player or eBay or Amazon or Mercari or one of the few. On these sites, though, it's a little hard to differentiate your brand versus another seller because on a listing in a marketplace, you're all under the same umbrella. What if I told you I had a solution for you where you can not only pay less in fees, personalize your own brand, and expand your brand as a whole? Well, that solution is going to be Shopify. Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to sell Pokemon cards on Shopify in 2023. This is in a series of all the other videos that I have done about selling on different platforms. And today we're going to be looking at one that has a ton of creativity involved. This platform stands out amongst the others because not only are you going to be creating your own logos, your own images, your own storefront, and your own products, this store is all you. It works best for sealed product and graded cards, but with some nifty plugins, you can also sell singles too. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into all of this action, and I'm going to show you how to use Shopify by the end of this video. In 2022, I did about $10,000 in sales. That's revenue, not profit. My profit is much smaller than that because there are costs to running this business. I work with wholesale suppliers to buy sealed product and ship it to customers, and there's tons of other stuff that goes into it. But this video is going to show you all about how I created my website. First thing you're going to want to do is navigate over to a sign up page for Shopify. In the description of this video, I do have a sign up page as a Shopify affiliate that does help me and my channel greatly. I appreciate if you use it, but you don't have to. You can use that affiliate link to sign up for a free Shopify store and try Shopify free for 3 days. Once the 3 days is expired, you would have to pay $40 a month, and there are different plans, whether that's monthly or annually. But go ahead and type your email into the address box on the sign up page, and that's going to take you over to the next phases. Once you've entered your email, you're going to get prompted with a brand new setup page. This is going to basically ask you all different things about your business, whether you're just starting, you're already selling online or in person, and a bunch of other things. Additionally, it's going to ask you if you already have an existing Shopify store. For this video, we're going to select no, and then you're going to select all the different ways that you'd like to sell, whether that's in person, online, on a blog, or on a POS system. Go ahead and go through there. And what social channels do you want to sell on? Another great thing about Shopify is that you can select Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and all of these options to sell through. If you want, you can put an online audience or a following, and then you go and name your store. Now, for this, I'm going to go ahead and name my store The Lab Breaks, as this is going to be a setup store for a rip and ship business. Once you entered a little wizard, you're going to go ahead and get prompted to building your store site. This is going to be the entire back end of your Shopify store. There's going to be a little checklist on here that we're going to go through and kind of get the basics set up, but essentially, this is your new home platform. Once this store site opens up, you're going to be prompted with your own seller dashboard. This dashboard is all-encompassing of your orders, your products, your finances, your sales, everything that you could want in an e-commerce business. The first thing that we're going to be doing is adding a brand new product to the Shopify store. Now, let's go ahead and add our first product. All right, so here on the product screen, you can see a bunch of different things. You can see the title and the description. You can see the status of the product and pricing and all this stuff that we're going to go into. For this little example, we're going to go ahead and use a Scarlet and Violet Pokemon booster box. If you want to use a description, you can go ahead and grab a description from the internet, or you can make your own. The great thing about Shopify is everything is completely customizable to how you want to do it. If you want to put Scarlet and Violet before Pokemon, be your guest. If you want to put Pokemon before Scarlet and Violet, you can do that too. Everything on this page is completely customizable by you. You can also add your own photo. So as you'll see in a second, I'm going to add a Scarlet and Violet booster box image. You can get these images from all over the place. Just make sure that you're allowed to use them. You can do this for all sorts of things. So if you have your own graded cards, you could add a graded card image here into the box if you have a light box, or if you're selling sealed product, you can just put the images right in there. So once the image is added, you're going to go ahead and scroll down. This is where you can set your own price, and you will elect to charge tax on this product. For this, we're going to go ahead and select $125.99. And one of the cool things Shopify does, and it can help track all of your expenses. So for this, my cost on this booster box is going to be about $95, and I want to track the quantity of this item. Let's go ahead and say that I have 12. Another cool thing about Shopify is you can add in all of your product weights. This is going to help later on for shipping all of your items, because instead of you going and weighing your booster box every single time you sell it, instead you can just have it preloaded, ready to go. Later on in the video, I'm going to show you how you can set up different boxes and their dimensions so that when a booster box sells, it already knows that the booster box is 1 pound and 8 ounces, and it knows that the box you're using to ship it is 2 ounces for a total of 2 pounds. Shopify allows you to set all sorts of different shipping rates, whether that's calculated shipping or flat rate shipping. Entering proper box allocations and weights is going to be important for your business. At the bottom of the screen, there's also going to be a bunch of options for search engine optimization. You can go ahead and fill these out if you'd like, but if you're going to be using a store primarily through one of the sales channels, you don't necessarily need to do that. Next, at the top right, there is the active status. When you are listing products, you want them to be in the active status. If you hold them in drafts, that means that they're not going to be published to your store. Then there's all sorts of different categorization options, whether that's the product category, the product type, the vendor, or the collections and the tags. And you can use these to sort your products based on type. You can use them for searches. So if a customer comes and says, I want Scarlet and Violet booster box, you would want to put something there to make sure that your customer knows what the products they're getting. Now that we've actually created our first product, I want to show you how you can customize your storefront. Now, this is going to be super basic and kind of do an introduction to the wizard itself where you can edit all these things, but this is completely customizable by you. You're going to want to go ahead and check out Fiverr or other different places to get new art for your own channel, your YouTube channel, your Instagram, your Shopify, whatever. Anything that you're using, if you're going to try and make a brand, I would highly recommend that you use Fiverr or some other platform or local artist. This way you can display a logo, you can display different text, and you can make your website feel like your own. So the next thing we're going to be doing is customizing our theme. Now on Shopify, the theme represents your store's cover. If you go to the labtcg.com, you can see an entire theme that I've already set up with my own business, but this is the back-end wizard for the theme. As you can see, there's a bunch of different things like an announcement bar, a header, an image banner. There's all sorts of different things that you can customize on this site. As I was saying earlier, pretty much everything can be customized, which is pretty incredible. And as we scroll down, you can see that our featured product, the booster box, is displaying already. So that's why I started with the product first. We now see that we have a product. So let's go ahead and change our image banner. I want to go ahead and change the image banner to something a little bit more Pokemon, something that when customers come to the landing page, they're going to know, oh, this is a Pokemon trading card game store. So the first thing we're going to change it to is a banner of Alolan Executor. Right, so once we select our image, now you can see that the banner has Alolan Executor in it. But here's the problem. It's a little too big. So if we come over to this drop down for the banner height, we can change the image size. Again, pretty much everything is customizable. So we're going to go ahead and change the banner, but what if I want the text to be centered differently, or I want it to say something else? Well, you can edit that too. So I'm going to go ahead and put this middle center and then come and change the back text. So this image banner, I don't want it to say that anymore. I want it to say something else, like my store name or some promotional option. So let's go ahead and change this text to something a little bit more fitting to the brand. I'm going to go ahead and change this to live booster box breaks with an exclamation mark so that my customers know I'm doing live booster box breaks. Then for the description, we can come in here and kind of say something that goes along with that heading. Or if you want to get rid of the description, you can just remove it entirely. But for this, we're going to go ahead and say, here at the Lab Breaks, we do booster box breaks. So there you go. Here at the Lab Breaks, we do live Pokemon pack openings. Then I'm going to go ahead and save the page and move on to the next thing that I want to customize. Now this video isn't going to be fully encompassing of all the different things that you can customize with Shopify. If you guys would like to see more, go ahead and hit subscribe and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a full hour-long video going through how I built my Shopify website. But for now, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next section. All right, so next up, we're going to go ahead and add a new page to our store. So our page that was created by Shopify already had a contact us page and it had a catalog and it had a search option. But what if I wanted to give a little more personality to the store? What if I wanted to tell people about what the Lab Breaks is all about? Well, you can add custom pages for that. For this, we're going to go ahead and add an About Us page where I want to kind of tell my customers who they're dealing business with, where they can learn more about us. So I'm going to title it About Us. In the content section, I'm going to go ahead and paste my values from the Lab TCG. And this is where you can really get creative and tell the people that are coming to your site what you're all about. You can change the text, you can change the alignment, you can change all sorts of elements about this page. And there you go. We have our information posted into this place. Now, if we hit save at the top of the screen, it's going to go ahead and save, quickly update and refresh, and then we're going to be off to the races and it's going to be published onto our storefront. So hit the little view page button, and all of a sudden, here it is. Here's our About Us page. It's not super pretty, but as you can see, adding pages is super simple. It's as simple as adding a new page, titling it, and then giving it some context. You can do all sorts of things for this, whether that's you want to add affiliate links or you want to add different sections. You can even add bulk buy lists and different information like that. So if you wanted to post your email and say, hey, we're buying cards, that would be the place to do it. You can make tons of new pages. If you want some inspiration, check out my website, thelabtcg.com, where I have all sorts of different pages like this. The next thing we're going to be doing is organizing the store's navigation. Now, we already set up some pages, so what if you have a bunch of pages and you want to show people different places and where they can go to find them? Well, come on back to this main menu area, and you can then add new pages to the top bar of your website. So, on this main page, we have the home, the catalog, and the contact. Now I'm going to show you how to add the About Us page. Here we go, we're going to the add menu item, titling it About Us, and then adding the page that we already created. Once we hit save, we're good to go, and if we go back to the website, it's going to already be there on that main tab. So once we hit refresh, there it is, About Us is now on the website. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to be talking about is adding a custom domain. So if you know, my store is thelabtcg.com, but how did I get thelabtcg.com? Well, I bought my domain through Google Domains, but you could also come to Shopify and buy the domain through them. So go ahead and enter your store and see if it's available. If it's not available, unfortunately, you'll have to buy it either from the person that already owns it or search for a different name. And depending on what you want, it can get really pricey. This is another thing where if you haven't started a business already, it can be really important to do a little research into this. If you were planning on building a website for yourself, you're going to want to see if your business name is actually available as a URL. So, quick tip, go ahead and do that before you start your business in the first place. Shopify allows you to not only plug in with YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, most of the platforms that you know, you can cross-post the items that you list on Shopify onto those pages. How are we going to do this? Well, you can navigate over to the Shopify App Store. There's more than just sales channel apps here. There's tons of different things that you can try out, like form builders and different landing pages that are interesting. Or if you wanted to give customer satisfaction scores and ratings and stuff like that, you can add all of that through the Shopify App Store. But for here, I'm going to go and navigate over to TikTok, and then since TikTok's so popular, I'm going to go ahead and add TikTok into my store, and here we go. We're successfully integrated with TikTok. Now, this does require some additional setup on the TikTok side that I'm not going to go into, but that is how you would do it. And on this page, the apps and sales channels that you have available can all be listed here, and you can configure them differently. Shopify also allows you to cross-post to Amazon and eBay and different places like that. So these are definitely things that you want to be looking out for. All right, so the last thing we're going to be looking up is the point of sale. Now, this might not be too useful if you're strictly an online seller, but if you're looking to go to flea markets or garage sales or in-person events, or you might even have a brick and mortar store if you're watching this, Shopify has a point of sale option for you. What that means is you can integrate with Shopify's own technology or other platforms and use them to take in-person orders. Now, this isn't something that I personally use, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this section, but as you can see, here's some of the equipment that you could be purchasing, or you can try different test transactions, set up different places to look up. Maybe you have multiple stores. You can have multiple POS systems, but that's definitely something to look into if you're a brick and mortar or selling in person. So that's the quick setup. That's about everything you need to know for that. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the left side of the screen where you can see all sorts of different information. We have the orders tab where you can make draft orders, you can make shipping labels, and you can see your abandoned checkouts. Since this store doesn't have any live activity, there is going to be no information here. When you actually broadcast your store and have people sign up for accounts, you're going to have all of this information in here. I've done several deals with people through Shopify that I negotiated without them even going to the checkout, where I'll upload the products to Shopify, send them an invoice through Shopify, and apply any different discounts or anything that I want. For example, here's me adding a discount to the Shopify coupon wizard. I'm going to go ahead and add a discount because I make such awesome YouTube videos and the viewers definitely should subscribe. But there you go, you have it, and a $5 coupon just added to this. Then if you wanted to add shipping and tax, all that can be added. All of this stuff can also be set up on the back end so that when customers order automatically, all of these things are configured in advance. But that's just an example of the coupons and stuff. Then we can also create invoices. As I was mentioning earlier, you get this little wizard here where it's going to send an email on your email address's behalf with an already made invoice name with the number, and then you can go ahead and put custom messages. You can use Shopify to communicate with your customers all through the platform, where you don't have to use your own email, you're just using stuff through the store. They have tons of templates and stuff for that. Then, if we wanted to create shipping labels, you don't need pirate ship anymore. Then say you have customers that are browsing your store, but for some reason they're not converting. You can check out all of your information about abandoned checkouts. Next up, we have the products page. This is where your products are going to sit. You can have all of them listed out, your collections, your different things of all sorts of that nature. You can group booster boxes by collection. So if you tag your items with booster box, they'll all automatically go into a collection, and you can put that collection on the front of your page, and it will showcase all of the booster boxes that you have available. Next up, we have the customers tab. As I was showing you, we already have Will the Lab as one of our customers, and it's showing here is all the information trail that we already have about this customer. The next part is going to be content, whether you want to save different files or folders or pictures onto Shopify. You can store that information in the backend and use it for all of your purposes around branding. There's that executor banner. Then for our finances, you can see all the information that would be relevant to you as the business owner. You have your net sales, your gross profit, your gross margin, your earnings. If you start entering those costs that I was showing earlier in the products page, you can keep track of everything with your Shopify store right in the business. You'll know exactly how much you profited. Then we have your billing. This is going to be your different payment methods for how you're paying Shopify on your monthly billing plan and all sorts of different credits and things like that. Then the analytics page. This is probably one of the coolest pages I've seen. You can track people coming to your site. You can see their average order value, the conversion rate of when they hit the landing page originally to when they finally finish your checkout, and all of the information there, which is going to allow you to make better judgments about how you run your store and how you place things. This is definitely no beginner's tool. Shopify is extremely complex, and I hope some of these dashboards are just showing how much information this really gives you. One of my favorite things is actually the live view, where you get this image of the globe and you can spin it around and look at all of the different places where people are ordering. When someone actually places an order, it shows you their location, then shows you a little ping of the order coming to your store. It's super cool. There's also a whole marketing section where if you want to use some marketing tactics to find new customers, you can use Shopify's paid marketing platforms or other marketing platforms and run campaigns. This gets really, really complex, so highly recommend checking out other YouTube videos for that type of stuff. Then here, finally, on the settings tab, you have all sorts of different information, and I'm going to go ahead and show you all about the shipping information. So one of the most important things for us as Pokemon business sellers is going to be setting up the shipping. As you guys know from already selling on certain platforms, shipping can be quite a headache. Well, with Shopify, you can simplify it pretty easily. Look at all these different options. So if we wanted to create a custom shipping rate, we can come over to this and name this for our booster box. Now, if we go to products, we're going to go ahead and add the Scarlet and Violet booster box, say we're shipping from the US, and then go ahead and select all of the states that we want to ship to you in the US. If you want to do international shipping, you could also select other countries. Then you're going to go ahead and add your shipping rate. If you use the use carrier or app to calculate rates, you can go ahead and change your shipping carriers and make it so that it's automatically applied based on weight and location. Here I'm going to select UPS, select all of the different options that we have available, and save this fee. If you wanted to add a handling fee, you can also do that too. Now, we're going to go ahead and save our shipping rates. Once you have your shipping rates, you can come down to packages and name your packages based on the products you're doing. So we're going to do booster box, and for me, it takes me one booster box, an 8x6x4 box, and it's about 0.2 pounds for that item. Then you add that package, and you can create bundles where when you sell a booster box, it automatically adds the box weight to it, and that's going to be your total amount. When you have multiple booster boxes and multiple boxes, it's going to calculate all that information for you, and you can get really complex with some of these shipping rates. So highly recommend you play around with that feature and check it all out. So with that being said, that is a huge introductory overview to what is one of the most complex selling platforms that I've ever done. I've been selling on Shopify for a pretty long time. I had my first Shopify store when I was 14, and I've been on and off with it ever since. But as you can see, it is an extremely robust tool that you can do all sorts of different things with, build your own personal brand, set your own shipping rates and policies, and really differentiate yourself as a business owner from the competition. This is something that paid marketing could be important, or you could do what I've done and only use social media to drive traffic to this site. For me, I personally use my Shopify store to get the word out there that I'm buying bulk, buying collections, post my sealed product, and sometimes post graded cards. There's a ton of stuff that you could be doing. There's also Binder POS and Crystal Commerce as ways to integrate with Shopify and sell singles. For me, I don't do either of those, and you can check out my website, thelabtcg.com, for any inspiration. So with that being said, this has been a video on Shopify. If you'd love to see a long form version of this where I live stream me going through and creating a brand new site, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. See you guys.